everyone, it's Cara. This is going to be my question and answer video. I seriously have tried making this video like 10 times, and each time it's either been interrupted, or there was hail, or it was raining, or all that kind of stuff. So, there's quite a bit of questions, so I'm just going to get right into it. Number 1, what's the most challenging part of motherhood? Basically the first couple of weeks when you're adjusting to their schedule. It has nothing to do with your schedule anymore. You kind of have to adjust things to them, like when they take a nap and they have to eat, all that kind of stuff. You just kind of have to work with them. The other part is lack of sleep. I think the first couple of weeks I only slept maybe like 3-4 hours a night. And I used to sleep like 10 or 11 hours in any given 24-hour period. So that was kind of traumatizing to me. So that's definitely what's challenging for me. Number 2, what's the most rewarding? Definitely watching her get bigger and like start hitting milestones and stuff. She's already starting to smile. So like socially and stuff, not just because she has to fart or poop or anything. So she's starting to smile just socially. So that's pretty exciting. Definitely waking up to her, being able to snuggle with her and all kinds of stuff like that. That's rewarding for me. Number 3, is recovering from a C-section as painful as people say? It kind of depends on how you are with pain. For me, I'm pretty good with pain. I don't like taking medication, so I wasn't keeping up with my pain meds as well as some people are or do. Mostly because if you keep up your pain meds so you have no pain, you're not going to know if you overdo it. So I kind of allowed myself the leeway to feel if I was overdoing it, which is definitely something you don't want to do. I think I did that a little bit, and that's how a part of my incision split open, but it's no big deal. If you hear her like making noise, she's right back here sleeping. Number 4, how would you rate the hospital staff during your stay? Pretty much everyone that we had around us, they were pretty awesome. I, however, did not like the one midwife down in the OB screening room. Especially since she's like, oh, well, you probably just peed yourself or whatever, all this stuff. And I'm like, no. Seriously, I know what happened. So, her not so much, but definitely, like, the nurses and the people up in mom and baby unit, definitely, they were awesome. And the delivery team was really good, too. Number 5, how did you feel when they told you were going to have the baby in 24 hours? Pretty much everywhere you read anything about labor, you kind of know that after your water breaks, you have a 24-hour window where you have to have the baby in. You can't go over that because then you risk infection. So I pretty much knew right after my water broke, I was like, oh, in 24 hours I'm gonna have a baby here. So it was kind of scary for me because obviously I was 36 weeks and 3 days, so it wasn't quite full term yet. So I was a little worried, but my doctor and everyone else, they were like, as long as you're 36 weeks, her lungs will be fine, and she probably will need to be in the NICU for a little bit, but luckily enough she didn't. She was perfectly fine. Just rather small. So I was a little anxious and scared that I was gonna have her within 24 hours because, I mean, I had everything ready. Like, I had everything I needed for her. I was just nervous. Also, we didn't know what size she'd be, so that was also kind of scary. Number 6. What's the deal with the catheter? Sorry, I'm really tired. The catheter, basically, they just put in if you have an epidural or a spinal. Because you can't feel your legs, you can't get up and walk, and you can't tell when you have to pee. So basically they do it after they put in the epidural or the spinal or whatever you're getting. after you get that, they'll put the catheter in, because they put it in really super fast. Although I've had a catheter in twice, with no medication or whatever to numb it, so it's not even that bad in the first place, but they insert the catheter and then they blow up a little balloon to keep it in there. So number 7. Oh, I should say that you have the catheter in usually within 8 to 12 hours, depending on when you get complete feeling back in your legs and your feet, and when you can start feeling when you have to go. So at that point, then you'll get it out. What surprised you about labor? How fast I progressed. If she wouldn't have been breech, I probably would have been fully dilated between 3.5 and 4 hours, and probably wouldn't have pushed for very long. So for a first time mom, it's kind of crazy to think that I would have completely had her like normally if she wasn't breech, probably within 4 or 5 hours. So that's kind of scary, because I'm definitely pushing for a VBAC next time. I just want to know how it feels and stuff. And, you know, I'm kind of scared of how fast that one will go if this one went pretty fast. Because I've heard from people, and like reading and stuff, that it kind of goes faster each time. So I'm a little nervous about how fast the next one will come. So number 8, was actual labor more or less scary than you thought? Since I had a C-section, I can't really say if it was more labor was scary. I mean, they cut me open, that's about it. That was my labor. So I guess it was a little bit less scary than I imagined. I imagined like this very dramatic labor, although I pretty much knew that I'd need a C-section, and I came to terms with that like a while before I had it. So everyone there was kind of surprised at how calm I was about it. And yeah, I felt pretty calm throughout the whole thing, so I'd have to say it was a little less scary than I thought. And definitely when you're still pregnant and you're thinking about it, you're gonna have like all these weird scenarios going on in your head that are gonna freak you out. To be honest, I did that. I thought that it would be like so terrible and all this stuff, but it wasn't. So definitely calm down, and once you're actually in labor, you're pretty much just gonna go with the flow unless you're really adamant about something. But I wasn't. I have told you guys from the beginning that pretty much whatever it took to get her here healthy and safe, then I would do. So number 9, what parts of being a mom are instinctual? For me, pretty much all of it. I never took care of a baby or pretty much even held one, except for my friend's 5-day-old son, like in last November. So I never took care of a baby. I had no idea what to do. Yeah, but after she was here, I pretty much knew right away what to do and what she needed and when and all that stuff. So I guess it just depends on the person. For me, most of it was instinctual. What parts are not instinctual? Anything that doesn't have to do with taking care of her. I guess I have to say, like, some things that you kind of learn as you go. Like how to bathe her, that's not instinctual, that's really hard. Like how to breastfeed, that's not instinctual. It doesn't come easy for her, she doesn't like it, which is fine with me. I mean, as long as she's getting the breast milk, it doesn't matter. But stuff like that, like things that you have to learn as you go, those things are not instinctual at all. how's Daniel doing? If you mean how's he doing, like taking care of her, he's doing pretty good. I mean, he right now he's working 2 jobs, so he doesn't really have that much time to hang out with her or help take care of her. Yeah, so he's still doing pretty good. He really loves being around her and cuddling with her and, you know, loving all on her and stuff like that, so that's good. And how's he doing as a father? He loves it, to be honest. Like, he loves coming home and seeing her, and pretty much everything is about her now, so he'll come home and he'll give her a kiss, and then he'll give me a kiss, so she comes first. So, number 12, how did your incision heal? Roughly. Well, if you look at my postpartum video, I show you my incision, and it's kind of jagged. Only because my skin is really tough, and even a scalpel can't really, like, cut through it very well. So, it's a little bit jagged, and there's, like, a flap of skin on this side. Yeah. So it's still bright red and purple, but that's how I am. I mean, I scarred from my IV, so. What else? Oh, about 10 days after I had the procedure, a part of the incision actually popped open. It was where one of the steri strips was. That little tiny section just kind of popped open. So I have like this dip in my incision and like a gap. So it's not bad, but you know, it didn't heal as perfectly as a lot of people say theirs did. So number 13, how do you take care of healing after a C-section? Basically, they're going to tell you that in the hospital. It kind of depends on your doctors and how your incision is, but for me, all I had to do was, you can't scrub it for the first 3 or 4 weeks. So basically you take whatever you wash yourself with the soap in it, and you just kind of like wring it out above your incision, and then you can kind of pat it in. So you're basically just cleaning off all the gross gunk that gets stuck on there. That's basically it. So, number 14, are you breastfeeding? I've said this before, so I consider her breastfeeding, but she's not feeding off the breast. She's taking the pumped milk out of a bottle. Number 15, do you miss being pregnant? To be honest, a little bit, but it's not that much. Like, I miss waking up in the morning knowing that she's right there, she's perfectly fine, and having her kick me. That's pretty much the only part I miss, is missing having her kicks. Because I thought those were the cutest things, and I would always like play with her feet. But now I can, you know, snuggle with her and all that stuff, and I can literally play with her feet now, so it kind of evens out. Number 16, have you had any postpartum depression or postpartum blues? I'm gonna say no, but I'm sure Daniel would say yes. But for me, it's more or less postpartum frustration is what I like to call it, but you could probably consider it postpartum blues. For the first few weeks, I was just frustrated with everyone like swarming around her and nobody listening to what I had to say about it. I did not want his little 10-year-old sister holding her until she could hold her head up. But again, nobody listened to me, so she ended up holding her like really soon. I also, well, now, she just asks her mom if she can hold her, but I'm always telling her, you know, she's not your mom's kid, you have to ask me or Daniel if you can hold her, and she still doesn't, and it drives me insane. I hate it. But yeah. So I've had postpartum frustration. Number 17, what's Alexis's schedule like? Depends on what you mean by schedule, because there are so many schedules that babies have. There's like a weekly schedule, a daily schedule, feeding schedule, sleeping schedule, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you really want to know what her schedule's like, go ahead and put down below like the specific schedule you want to know. Number 18, do you have a must-have product? I have a few. It kind of depends and varies by the day, but most of the time it's her bottles, and we actually had to switch to Dr. Brown's bottles because she was spitting up quite a bit, and she was just taking in a lot of air and how fast she would eat and stuff. So Dr. Brown's bottles helped a lot. So her bottles, the Boppy pillow, definitely, because she will sleep on there like for 2 hours. She will fall asleep on the Boppy pillow for 2 hours. But if you have her like in her swing or in her crib or something, it's maybe an hour and a half at the longest. So that definitely helps us out. And then also the swing, because it has like stuff that can distract her and stimulate her and stuff. There's a mirror, there's a mobile, and it can swing. So she likes staring at herself in the mirror, which is pretty funny because she doesn't yet realize that it's her. She's just completely mesmerized by it. And she likes watching the mobile go around. She likes watching television, anything with like moving colors. Because I think now she's starting to be able to not just see black and white. She's starting to see like some colors. So she'll watch Daniel play video games, or she'll watch like cartoons that I put on. Which I have no problem with. I have no problem with her like sitting there like watching television for a little bit, because she's not always right there where she can see it. And right now she actually can't see the television because I moved her swing, because we got a mini fridge. Yeah, so I have no problem with her watching cartoons for a little bit. Let's see, number 19, how is the family with her? The family is pretty good with her. It just seems like they always want to see her, so every 5 minutes there's someone knocking on my door, wanting to see her, but I don't want them to disturb her sleep. I don't want them to disturb her bath time, and I don't want them to come in while she's eating. She gets very frustrated if people try and like play with her or touch her and stuff while she's eating. She gets very frustrated. And during bath time, I just don't like it because it's her calm time, and whenever anyone comes in to see her, she gets kind of cranky, especially during bath time. And then while she's sleeping, mostly because they will come and like shake her hands and her feet and like move her head and stuff, and that just kind of bothers her, and she won't go back to sleep after that. She will stay up and she will scream for like the next hour because she gets tired and somebody disturbed her. So I kind of try and get them to not see her when she's sleeping, but now that she's more awake during the day, they'll be able to see her more. But for now, whenever she's one of those 3 things, it's kind of off limits. Number 20, are you getting her ears pierced? Yes, and I know it's really controversial. Some people are like, why would you put your kid through that? It's just for your pleasure and stuff. You know what? When I got mine done at 13, I really wished that I had them done when I was earlier. Mostly for the fact that, you know, it's one of those things that you see everybody having it and you kind of want it. But when I got it done, I was terrified to get it done. And, like, it didn't hurt, and it's not going to hurt in general when she gets it done. It's going to be more like a shock, but we're getting it done. We're probably going to wait until she's 3 months or 4 months or whatever, because we're not in really a big hurry to do it. Daniel's little sister, who's 10 now, her mom, their mom actually pierced their ears when they were like 2 weeks old. So I'm definitely gonna wait because she still has really small ears. She's the size of a newborn at 5 weeks old, so we're gonna wait until her ears are a bit bigger and all that kind of stuff. 21. Any plans for future kids? Yes, we want 3 or 4 kids, but we're gonna space them out like every 2 to 3 years, only because that's best for me, and it's probably what's gonna be best for her. I also want to make sure that the previous child is out of diapers before we go into the next one, at least for a while. So I know a lot of people are gonna like bash me for this, but when I turned a year old, my mom started potty training me. Or no, when I was actually started walking, I think I was like 9 or 10 months, she started potty training me, and I was completely potty trained by a year old. Same with Daniel. So we're probably going to start when she starts walking, or when she's walking like really well on her own, then we'll start potty training her. So she'll probably be potty trained before she's a year and a half old. So for at least 6 months or more, she won't have had to wear diapers and stuff, and then we'll try for the next kid. So, number 22, is changing diapers gross? You think it's gross in the beginning, but you kind of just do what you have to do. I'm sure it's going to be a lot more gross as she gets bigger, and especially when she starts eating solid foods. So that's pretty weird, but in the beginning, the meconium stuff that they have is really nasty to clean off because it's really sticky, and you really have to like work to get it off. So that kind of sucked, and it was kind of gross because you were like sitting there for like a few minutes like trying to get this poop off her butt, and and now that she's a bit bigger and stuff like that, it looks like mustard and stuff, and you know, breastfed babies, their poop doesn't really smell that bad. I personally think it smells like a weird smelling mustard, but it's not that bad at all. And yeah, it's not that bad. But as I said, I'm sure as she gets older and she starts eating solids and stuff, it's gonna be pretty nasty. Number 23, favorite bottles that you have. I actually showed this to you. The Dr. Brown's bottles. These things are amazing. I don't care what people say about it being harder to clean the extra parts. It's not really that hard. It comes with a little brush. Basically, if you just clean everything like that, like once a day or something, I kind of do it in the morning, or I actually clean them like 3 times a day. I do once in the morning, after she's gone to sleep, and then in the afternoon during her nap, and then at night after we put her to bed. So it's pretty easy. You can have like a bucket of water in the kitchen, or we have it in the bathroom because I don't want to like leave the room to clean things and all that stuff. So I just have a bucket of water in the bathroom, and I use the little pink bucket that you can keep from the hospital and stuff. That's what I put it in. I just put everything in there, and then clean it later. 24. How long does she sleep at a month old? She's actually 5 weeks old now, and she still sleeps kind of how she was when she was a newborn. Every 2 to 3 hours she'll still get up to eat, but she is still pretty tiny, so she kind of needs to. So yeah, every 2 to 3 hours at night, and then every 3 hours during the day, I'd say. Number 25. Any tips for the first few weeks? Definitely try and sleep when they sleep. It's pretty hard. I know my body does not let me sleep during the day, so it kind of never works out in my favor. But try. Because you will be missing a lot of sleep, and it will probably start getting to you. Another thing is, in the first couple of weeks, I know it's really hard, and especially if you're breastfeeding and stuff, like actually breastfeeding, it's going to be hard to leave them. But definitely within the first couple of weeks, go out with your husband or whatever for like at least 15-20 minutes. Get used to being away from your baby for a little bit, just so neither one of you develop separation anxiety. So I think we went out at like 3 weeks postpartum or something like that. Yeah, 3 weeks. And he actually took me out to dinner. Only because of how I was feeling and stuff. The night before we went out to dinner was when I kind of vented all my frustrations about the family and stuff. So definitely get used to that. Even if you're not going to be leaving them a lot, you don't want your kid to have separation anxiety and all that kind of stuff. My mom just kind of gave me that tip, so there's that one too. Also, just kind of go with the flow. If things aren't getting done around the house and like stuff is piling up, try not to worry about it and definitely ask for help when you need it. I have a really hard time asking for help in general, but I'm slowly trying to get used to it. I take her out to see grandma more often, and if I definitely need to do something, I'm not afraid to ask someone if they can watch her for, a little bit. So, number 26. Are you doing any portraits for her? I am personally. I don't want to spend money to have a professional photographer do it, only because I feel like I can do just as good shots. I have quite a few things that look good against her. Like my body pillow has a leopard print pillowcase on it, so, and she looks really cute against it because of her skin tone, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use black and everything like that. So I'm going to do them myself, hopefully sometime this coming week. I was going to do them this week, but I didn't have time. I've had so much to do. Number 27. How often do you bathe her? Kind of depends. Like, if she spits up a lot during a day, then I'll bathe her then. But I try not to bathe her more than 2 or 3 times a week. Because she doesn't need it. She doesn't get that dirty. If she does spit up, I kind of just use a baby wipe and I just wipe it down and kind of let it be. So, number 28. Any everyday tips you have? I guess this one has to do with cleaning. Kind of do it as you go. Like at night is when you can put in laundry like into the washer. And then when you wake up in the morning, you can put it in the dryer, and then sometime throughout the day you can fold it. It makes it a lot easier if you just kind of do it in increments and you do little sections each nap. If you think you're getting enough sleep and you're not taking a nap, clean little sections of the house or whatever during their nap time. For me, I don't really clean anyway, so it doesn't really bother me, but definitely if you need to clean like the whole house and stuff, or you need to cook or something, definitely do it during one of their naps. It makes it a lot easier on you. Number 29. What colors her hair and her eyes? Her hair still looks brown, but it's kind of red too, so she has like reddish brown hair. So I'm pretty sure that she's gonna have strawberry like blonde hair, kind of like Daniel, but a little bit more lighter. But her eyebrows are like non-existent. They're so like pale blonde that you can't even see them unless you like go sideways. And her eyes, they keep going from like a gray color to a brown color to a green color to a blue color. So you don't quite know for sure until they're like 6 months to a year old. So who knows, she may have my color eyes, she may have Daniel's color eyes, but right now most of her coloring and most of her features are Daniel. So she's like his little twin. Number 30. Who do you think she looks like? I just answered this. Sorry. Definitely she is Daniel's twin. She looks nothing like me right now. So, number 31. What milestones has she hit so far? Not sure what milestones I have for like a month old, but she is already starting to smile socially, not just because she's like pooping or farting. So she's smiling, and she's starting to be able to hold her head. She can hold her head up in different positions for different lengths of time. When she's doing tummy time, I put her on the boppy pillow because she's so small. And she can hold her head up for a good minute or two. She likes looking at herself in the mirror, so I put a mirror there so she can look at herself. When you have her up on your shoulder to burp her, she can also hold her head up for about a minute. But if you sit her in front of you, like facing out or facing towards you, just like sitting on her butt, she either gets really tired or she just doesn't want to do anything because immediately she will flop her head. So yeah, but if you hold her up like this, like your hands underneath her arms, she can hold her head up like perfectly fine for any length of time that you want her to. So yeah, she's starting to be able to hold her head up. She can smile. She's already like trying to get on her knees. I'm not sure if that's normal, but when you put her down for tummy time, she is propping herself up on her knees from like completely flat, and she's like moving her arms back. So I like to say that she's already trying to figure out how she's gonna crawl and like get into stuff and be like biggest pain in the butt. But yeah, she's starting to do that. I don't know if it's normal or not. Her doctor hasn't told me anything, but that's what she's trying to do. Number 32. Are you gonna work out soon to lose the belly fat that you have? Probably, but I don't like working out. I'm not someone who's gonna sit there and just like, or do anything for it. I kind of am really lazy about it because I have always had a fast metabolism, and the belly fat actually is starting to go down with me doing hardly anything. But I probably will start doing some sort of exercise right now. Right now, Daniel's doing P90X because he's finally actually wanting to lose weight and like work out and get toner and stuff for Alexis. And yeah, so I sometimes do that with him, and that's pretty much what I do. Number 33. Can you do a day in the life video? I could, but right now she's not really doing much. It's mostly her sleeping, eating, and then me changing her. So there's not really much to film, but I may do it when she starts like doing more stuff. When she can probably hold her head up and like start playing with things, then I'll probably do one. But then again, I'd have to like see if you guys want to see it at that point anyway. But for right now, no. Number 34. How do you get housework done? Pretty much like I said, kind of do it as you go and as she's sleeping. It makes it a lot easier. So this is kind of how it goes. When she wakes up, I pretty much just kind of relax and I'll eat and stuff. And then when she's done eating the next time, and then she goes down for another nap, I will start kind of cleaning up the room and trying to make it look a little bit better. And then after that, depending on the day, I do laundry once a week. She has enough clothes and blankets to allow me to do it once a week. So if it's laundry day, then I will do it the next time that she falls asleep. And I'll put it in the washer. And usually by the time she's down for her next nap, which is like 3-4 hours later, then I can put it in the dryer and go from there. Oh, she's starting to wake up. So just kind of do it as you go. That would be pretty much my only tip. If you have to like actually like dust and clean and like sweep and stuff, kind of work it in there. If your child's like awake and they're just kind of like glazing around, you can put them in their swing and you can go and do something else. Pretty easy. Number 35. Are you going to vaccinate? Yes. I think vaccinating your kid is really good. I don't understand why people don't want to vaccinate their kid. Because you're putting them in danger and you're putting other people's kids in danger by not vaccinating. Because your kid is going to be way more susceptible to whatever you're vaccinating them for, and they're going to get it a lot more harshly than people who've been vaccinated. If you get vaccinated, it's not like you can't get that disease. No, you're going to get a very mild form of it, but you can still get it. I know people are like, why are you going to put like some sort of virus into your baby? You know what? It's a very mild form, and usually it's the non-active form. It's just so your immune system can get used to it. So I don't understand why people don't vaccinate. I think it's the most irresponsible thing in the world. But yeah. Number 36. Does she have any quirks? Kind of. She sounds like a dinosaur, as you can tell. And she likes to scratch. Like, not herself. She's only scratched herself maybe a couple times, but she will scratch other people. Like, she's been doing it since she was born. She will just go up and she will, like, scratch you. And now she's starting to be able to, like, pinch you. Not on purpose. I doubt it's on purpose. But she's starting to be able to pinch you. And it hurts. I mean, she's pretty strong. So it hurts when she pinches you. So I find that to be one of her weird quirks. And she makes the funniest faces. Like, she will look at you completely cross-eyed. And her mouth wide open. And then the next minute she'll look completely excited. And then she'll be really calm. So she makes really funny faces. She will wake up, also one of her weird things is she'll wake up from like a dead sleep and look completely terrified and scream and then put herself back to sleep. So she's pretty strange as it is. She's really weird, but yeah. Number 37. How has having a baby changed your relationship? I wouldn't say it's completely changed it. It's changed the dynamic of it. Because it's not about me and him anymore. It's mostly about her. So mostly whatever we talk about is about her and everything like that. We get into like little tiny arguments now. Not that we didn't before, but for a long time we didn't have an argument. But now we do, because I feel like I end up taking care of her more than he does. Alright. And it irritates me a bit. So we get into some more arguments than we used to. But it's not that bad. Well, she's holding her head up. That's pretty much all the questions that I have. If you have any more, go ahead and put them down below and stuff, and I'll answer them as I go. She's getting hungry, so I'll just show you to her, or I'll show her to you. This is what my little munchkin looks like now. She's quite a bit bigger. Oh, her sock fell off. Oh, you're hungry, huh? And she will push you away. She will push you away now. So, this is her. She's definitely a lot bigger. Let's see if I can get you any closer. Look at the camera, honey. Look at the camera. Oh. Anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.